Hey guys, this is Allison from Allison Answers and Lager Counseling Services. I am here to talk to primarily the women of the Women of Excellence Results Challenge group. And the reason I'm here to talk to you today is I want to just give you some basic instructions, tell you a little bit about what the group is and what we're doing going forward. So the bottom line is that this group is for women who are committed and desire to make long-lasting life changes in all areas of their life. And these areas include relationships, time management, mothering, the way that they experience their own bodies, the way that they think about themselves, the way that they think about others. And my goal is to create a movement that actually makes a difference. I'm so tired of anything that doesn't actually produce results. I am all about results. So I tell you just a little bit about me. I am a therapist. I've been a therapist for over 30 years, and I have worked in all different fields. I'm also a drug and alcohol counselor, and I have the experience both personally and professionally to really help a lot of people. So what I have done over these years is I've opened up counseling centers, and I have therapists who work for me as well. And we have 2 locations, and we're going to be opening another. But what I found is that it is very wonderful to help one person at a time, 1 hour at a time, and to watch incrementally how lives just blossom and change, and how it can affect generations of people by just helping one person. And as I've moved through my life, I have determined that this is not enough for me. For me, I feel like everything that I've learned over all the years that I've been alive, both personally and professionally, I feel like it is my obligation to share that with as many people as I possibly can, because I want to make as much impact on this earth as I can while I'm alive before I hit my grave. So that's been my driving force. And when I look at my own personal experience as a woman, it is incredibly powerful how much this subliminal message about how we're supposed to be, how we're supposed to think, how we're supposed to act, how we're supposed to dress, how we're supposed to be mothering, how we're supposed to be everything, has influenced so much of our decisions. Now, some of those things may be wonderful, those supposed to be's, but they also can hinder the vibrance that's inside of a human being. And my whole mission has been on my podcast and just anything that I talk about on Facebook or any social media is about that most people are automated, and most people do not recognize the fact that they're running on a network. It's actually a neurological network of belief systems that creates all of their behaviors and all of their thoughts, their feelings, and ultimately their outcomes. So the results in our lives are not typically based on the creation of our own thinking. They're based on meanings that we've attached to experiences from the time we were born throughout our lives, and the meanings may or may not be accurate. So what I hope to do in this movement with women is to help women to first see the truth about the way they're thinking about the things in their life. So the truth about the way they see themselves, the truth about the way they see others, the truth about the way they see their own body, their own behavior, their own smile, the truth. Number one, nothing changes until it becomes what it is. So first, we need to know the truth. Then what we're going to do is we're going to incrementally, through knowing that truth, incrementally begin to think for ourselves. So we're not going to be thinking based on historical data all the data that's been stored in our neurological network in our body, because our body is a whole record of memory that with a bunch of meaning that's been attached to every experience, every nuance in our life has been evaluated, and it's been stored in our whole self as a belief. So what we're going to do is stop, and we're going to look at the way we're thinking, and we're going to make a decision about what we would like to create in our life, emotionally, spiritually, relationally, economically, vocationally. We're going to actually be helping women to take charge of their own lives finally. And I'm not talking about, you know, a woman's movement or feminism or anything like that, or fighting against men, because this is the same plague that men experience as well. It just may have different types of nuances to it. But this is not about, you know, women fighting against men. So I just want to make that clear. You know, I think men are fantastic and they have so much in them, and they're just made differently, and we're made differently. So what I want you to understand, this is not a fighting movement. This is not a struggling against society movement. We're not doing that. Anything we struggle against, anything we're fighting, controls us, and we've lost our focus. The goal here is to create an atmosphere inside of our own selves where we not only feel confident in the joy of creating new ideas, new thoughts, really envisioning, being innovative, making decisions about the way we want our life to be, and then focusing on that, and then being deliberate in our intention, and then executing this plan through thought, through the meaning we attach to things. And then by day in, day out, by having the challenges that we're going to do in this group, we're going to have challenges that are every day. And the challenges may seem very silly and minuscule to you, but they will change your whole freaking life. And I'm telling you that they will. The bottom line is, one of the challenges, an example is to spend the next 24 hours with a heightened awareness of how much every thought, feeling, action, choice, the decisions you're making, where you drive, how you drive, what shoes you wear, all of it, how you smile, if you laugh, if you don't laugh, if you're silly, if you're funny, if you say you're sorry, how much of that is based on your perception of what other people think of you or what they might think of you. If women just spent time noticing the imprisonment, the entrapment, the hostage situation that they are in their own minds based on what other people think, they might be overwhelmingly shocked. And that's what I hope. I want to overwhelmingly shock you as to the way that you've been living, the way you've been thinking, the things you've been doing, the choices you're making. I know that this morning when I put my shoes on, I considered the people in my office. Now, that's interesting. And I'm not saying we shouldn't consider other people. We need to be aware of who's in charge of our lives. And the charge that's in charge of our life, is it something that we agree with? Do we value it? Do we want this in our life? Do we like the way this is playing out? So now I want to explain to you what this group is kind of going to do. Every single solitary morning, the women who are on here, I really honestly want women who are on here who are going to do this shit. Women who are actually going to come in the morning. I don't care if you're yawning, you're tired, you don't want to do it, you do it anyway. Because the stuff we do that we don't want to do is the stuff that creates the life that we actually want. So you get up and, hey, I'm not like a proponent of like wake up and get right on social media. But if you're waking up and getting right on social media because you're going to do a challenge, but don't scroll, Don't go all through your whole news feed and then get lost in social media. When you come on here, please don't do that. I'm asking you genuinely, please don't do that. It's not a great idea to be in that state when you wake up. What I'm asking you to do is come to this group, listen to my short video, 2, 3, tops 5-minute video that's going to present a challenge for you for that day. It's going to present a challenge where you're going to be looking very deeply inside of yourself and at the environment that you're going to be in for the next 24 hours. And you're going to consciously, incrementally change your perspective and the way that you think and the actions that you take. You're going to slow down enough. This is not going to interrupt your day. It's only going to change the internal workings of your brain. I'm not asking for a big time commitment. I'm asking for a big mind commitment, a big decision to say, I am willing to create thoughts as opposed to reacting to automated thoughts that have been in my life since I'm a baby. I'm ready to do that. And if you're ready to do that, then what I want you to understand, it's really cool if you get a journal. Do a journal. Eventually, I'm going to make one based on my challenges because I think it would be just so cool to have one. But I don't have the time to do it yet, but I'm going to do that eventually. And you can remind me and bug me to do it because I think it would just be so cool. But anyhow, so this journal, you're going to write in what your experience was for that day. Then you're going to come back the next morning, early in the morning, and you're going to share. You're going to share what your experience was and, you know, keep it brief. Try to encapsulate what happened for you and what your takeaway was. And then you could also throw out a quick video. Try to keep it under a minute, the video, because people don't have time to listen to 30 videos, you know, because we're going to have a lot of women in here. But, you know, anything that you can share that can be an inspiration. Remember, setbacks are not failures. So you're going to notice through your 24 hours, like let's say you're noticing, oh, I'm worried about what everybody thinks. Holy shiitake, I can't believe this. This is okay. Awareness is the beginning of change. Awareness is a good thing. Do not get overwhelmed by being aware. Aware truth is fantastic. It is a pathway to all freedom. Then what you're going to do is you're going to take your stuff, right? And when let's say you're doing really, really well, okay? You're doing really well with whatever the challenge is, like being decisive. So that'll be a challenge one day. To be clear on your decisions, make your decisions quickly and stick with them, you know, or let's say a challenge is, I'm gonna stick with one thing at a time, okay? So now, if you notice that you keep diverting from it, you keep going back to an old way, this is what we're supposed to be doing. So I don't want you to be like, oh, I keep failing. No, that is an old mindset. That is a mindset that tells us something very, very distorted. It tells us that, oh, I made a decision to do this thing and now I failed myself. So now I can't trust myself to do it. So therefore, I'm not doing it again. How many people are doing that with the gym? How many people are doing that with all different areas, even in their marriage? They try to do one thing in their marriage and then it fails and they're like, oh my God, forget it, I need a divorce. So basically, no, what we do is change doesn't happen like, oh, one day I'm doing this thing that I hate and then the next day I'm not. And then I continue forever not doing that thing that I hate so much. It doesn't work that way. The way it works is kind of like a graph. You know, we have good days and we can have peaks where we're doing really, really, really good. And then we go, whoop, and then we go up a little bit here and like, oh my God, and then it goes back up. But if you notice that the graph continues to go up, you continue to get, even if you have dips, it goes up. Think about like the stock market. You know what I mean? Like the trends. You want to look at the overall trend. Every day that you're focused on your health and your growth and your wellness and changing your female mindset to something vibrant, powerful, decisive, deliberate, focused, enthusiastic, and, you know, in control of self, loving self. The second that you're focused on that, your life is already changing. Just don't give up. Stay with me. Stay with us. Do you hear what I'm telling you? This is a mission. This is a movement. This is something in my heart that I know that I know that I know that I know that not only women need, men need, because people are living a life of mediocrity based on old thoughts, old opinions, old feelings, perspective on what the outside world thinks of them or might think of them, so they won't giggle. They won't do a cartwheel on the beach if they feel like it. They won't, all of us are held hostage to our belief systems about the way things are supposed to be. Now understand, I am not talking about creating an anarchy or not having a moral compass. I am probably one of the most moral people you'll meet. I wasn't always moral. I am now. But anyhow, so what I want to say is that this is a movement, I believe, and I don't even think I'm being grandiose, because somebody's got to do this shit. Somebody's got to make a difference on this earth. How come we are all following one another? Because we have inside of our body a desire, a safety mentality, where we desire to be like everyone else. Because if we stand out, it's kind of this herd idea that if I stand out, I'm going to be taken down by that damn lion. So basically, our brains are constantly scanning for trouble. And if you follow your brain, if you follow what your brain is telling you, you're going to be anxious all the time, worried all the time. You're going to be unsure of yourself. You're going to be negative, looking for things that are wrong around you, because there's no shortage of that. But there's no shortage of beauty. There's no shortage of excellence. There's no shortage of anything that is noble. But you have to be willing to look for it. If we allow ourselves to follow our brain or our old automated neurological system, then we are puppets. If we decide that I'm going to be in charge of my brain, I'm going to be in charge of my body, I'm going to be in charge of my thoughts, they are not going to be in charge of me. I'm going to be in charge of my time. I'm going to be in charge of the relationships I choose. I'm going to be in charge of the way my life runs. And all of those things are not going to be in charge of me. We were created to be creative. There are opportunities all over the place. And I'm not just talking about monetary opportunities. I'm talking about opportunities to love, opportunities to give, opportunities to provide beauty, opportunities to just be in peace. There is so much choice out there for us. So we need to create new, exciting, valuable experiences so we can actually make a difference on this earth. Okay, so now these are the things you're going to become. You're going to become a person who is decisive. You're going to become a person who is deliberate. You're going to become a person who is focused. You're going to become a person who is able to do one thing at a time and do it well. You're going to become a person who creates and is a wise observer about the way they want to show up today, instead of following what they believe other people want from them. Hear me, your life will definitely change if you do this thing. I am committed personally in my own life to every day, see every day as the most valuable thing that I am in charge of. If I am not in charge of my day, fact, my day is in charge of me. So, and watch your day just slip away. Women are frantic. They're worried about not being organized. They're worried about their children. They're worried about their body size. They're worried about the way they look. They're worried about their hair. They're worried about the guilt that they feel inside. Women are resenting the life that they feel has been handed to them, that they don't have any choice in living it or not. I am telling you today, right now, you have a choice how you want to live this day. Now, it may be within a structure like going to work or whatever it is. You have a choice in the way that you perceive it. You have a choice in what you look for in that day. You have a choice in how you interact with others. You have a choice in the way that you show up. You have a choice if you do things excellently or not. You have a choice whether to be your own best friend. You have a choice every time you look in the mirror to say, you know what, damn, I'm going to be your best friend, girl. When I'm stressed out in the morning, if I have a lot going on, yes, it happens to me. If I have that feeling going on, I have that other voice inside of me, that part of me that I'm developing and have developed and will continue to develop the rest of my life. That voice inside of me is me. And I'm telling you right now, I show up as my own best friend. So I'll say, hey, Allie, you know what? You're all right. No matter what, you have enough time to do everything you need to do and everything you want to do. And if it doesn't work out fully the way that you perceive it to be, you're going to be okay, honey. And I literally say that to myself. I say, honey, it's all right. Slow down, breathe, do one thing at a time. You're going to be good. You know, I'm going to be my cheerleader. I'm going to show up. I do not wait for external environmental things, people, places, and things to create an atmosphere for me that I can feel good about myself. I'm going to be ahead of that. And that's what I'm asking of you guys. Now, this is kind of like a mishmash of a video. I don't even know where I'm putting it, but I think I want it available for the women who have joined the group. It's a longer video than what we normally will be doing in the group. The group's videos are going to be short as heck. And basically they're in, out. We're going to be working on all sorts of things, but the primary thing is the way that we think. It's the meaning that we attach to every damn stinking thing that we have going on around us. Even the lighting in the room or the sound outside or our neighbor or whatever it is. We are going to take charge of the meanings that we create, and we're going to take charge of the thoughts that we think. And we're also going to do something really super cool. We are going to evaluate the feelings that we feel the most, because my goal is to create emotional sobriety for everybody in this room. So what that means is that the feelings that we feel the most are going to be the feelings that our body becomes chemically addicted to. And then when we try to make a change in those feelings, we naturally go through a withdrawal, and we want to pull back and operate within those feelings. So I'm going to incrementally help you guys to be able to focus and to be able to be aware of the truth about what you're thinking, doing, acting, feeling, everything, and then pivot and start to begin to create a new environment internally, which will create a new environment externally. And I am so honored and grateful to have anybody who would want to join this mission, anyone who wants to be a part of this. I'm probably going to throw this out on my podcast and whatever we're doing here, because I really want, if you know someone who needs a leg up in this area, I just feel like this is just what men and women and kids and everybody just needs. We need to wake up and stop living lives we don't want to live with people we don't want to live with, doing things we don't want to do just because we think that's the way life is. I hate that phrase. Oh, it is what it is. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Yeah, it is what it is because you're not doing anything about it. It is what it is. Acceptance, I believe, is a beautiful concept. I believe in acceptance, but not to the point where we just resign ourselves to a life that God did not create for us, and we are not meant to create. We were made to be creators. I hope you guys have a beautiful day. Please, please, please subscribe to my podcast if you would, Allison Answers, and like and share this video. I would really appreciate that because I just really want to give back as much as I can. And I hope that this was of value to you. And if it was, please, please share it with any women that you know, men as well, if they're open to hearing it, because it is a female-based kind of video. All right, guys, be blessed. And come check out my Women of Excellence Facebook group. If you can join at any time. The challenges aren't, in order, but you have to be approved. So you'd have to message me, Allison@lagercounseling.org, Allison with 1L, lager like the way the beer is spelled, Allison@lagercounseling.org, and just let me know that you'd like to be invited. And you have to be committed though. All right, guys, have a beautiful day.